if I told you that
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this Tuesday night on Halloween evening. This is the ASRA Cup Series in Talladega race presented by Harpoon Design, as this will be our final race of the regular season before we head into playoffs. Talladega always provides the excitement. My name is Jacob Emery alongside Steve Tucker in the booth. Steve, how are you doing?
Hello. I am fresh off of just a full stomach of candy and treats, all kinds of stuff that are terrible for me. But hey, I'll tell you what, tonight, Talladega are going to be a lot of good times here on Halloween night.
Yeah, anyone can come out here and get a win at Talladega, as they are trying to battle for all the points before we start the playoffs. Right now, we've got Brandon 6 making a qualifying time, as well of other drivers out there trying to put up a time. Steve, real quick, do you want to start out front, or you're thinking you want to start in the back here at Talladega?
Tell you what, man, Talladega is just an absolute wild card for many, many reasons. This is the regular season finale, keep in mind, so that's going to be a big picture today for a lot of these drivers. Who can sneak their way in? About 5 or 6 drivers have snuck their way in through points and through wins, but right now, a lot of these drivers, Thomas Meeks right here, looking pretty good in the point standings, but it all comes down to, can you win? Can you get that coveted Talladega trophy? And I'll tell you what, right now, in the front, in the back, tough. I mean, it's a long race, 94 laps to decide this thing. And me, honestly, you don't get any fast repairs, so you want to keep your car clean. I like the front, if you can stay there, but the back is pretty good too.
94 laps today. And also 2 stages. Stage 1's going to be at 20 laps. Stage 2's going to be at 45 laps. And if we have to, we will do the 3 green, white, checkered flag. Brandon 6 on top right now, alongside Matt Smith. He's in second. You other drivers got to get out there to put a time in. I'm not so sure, Steve. I think me, personally, I want to stay in the back. I think I want to start in the back. The way the season has gone so far, if you're trying to get those points, you want to avoid the big one. So, for me, I think he's in the back.
Yes, sir. I mean, I'll tell you what, a lot of these guys, a lot of these faster guys, Roger Pierce, definitely one of these guys. By the way, amazing paint scheme today by Harpoon Design, our sponsor for the race today, the Harpoon Design 250. That extreme sim racing performance, car right there looks very good. Orange and black. We'll cover some great paint schemes throughout the day. We'll talk to Brentley, actually, the owner of Harpoon Design, a little later on. And, man, going to be a lot of fun today for sure.
I'll tell you what, that 27 of Roger, that car looks so clean. Such a good job by Brantley making these Halloween paint schemes. That's 83. We're looking there at Jackson. He's got another paint scheme as well. Good looking cars here for this race, Steve.
Yes, sir. But qualifying right now, almost over 4 minutes left to go. And this is going to be massive, man. I mean, 94 laps. Stage 1 will end on lap 20. So, kind of a short little dash to get to the end of stage 1. And I'll tell you what, fuel right now is not going to be a major part of it. We like setting the fuel pretty high for these races because we want the pack to stay together. We want that exciting racing. And we're going to get it today for sure. Daryl Young right now coming on track in that Chrome Goose, normally paint scheme, but Dead Goose today. Love that play on words there, playing with the theme. Looking pretty good, man. Awesome cars today.
I'm seeing a lot of orange and black paint schemes tonight. Halloween, look there. Brandon 6 is up front. He's on the pole. You've got Matt Smith. He's in second. Roger Pierce in third. That's your top 3 as it sits. But we've talked about it here at Talladega. It really doesn't matter where you start. It's where you finish. You just want to stay alive. These guys up front want to stay up front all day long. Can the guys in the back be patient and get a top 5 or even a win here at Talladega?
Yeah, and the crazy thing, Emery, right now, 53.20 was the winning time for the pole for Brandon 6, but Matthew Smith is right there with the same exact time, so it came down to the thousandths. which we don't record here on the scoring system. So very, very close battle, obviously, for that pole position. Roger Pierce, Nick Lights, 3rd and 4th. Jackson Anderson right now, P5. So great job for a lot of these guys.
Jackson Anderson in that 83, one of those drivers that has a lot of time at Talladega, these super speedway races. He likes to be out here. I think he's going to be comfortable in the car today, so watch out for him. Also, these guys, Mealy, Kaufman, Meeks in that 55. He knows how to race this track and stay up front and try to get a win. But watch out, Brandon Six, your driver this season to beat. He has been out front all season long. Can he come out and get a top 5 or a win tonight? Can't wait to see it. Steve, we're almost done with qualifying. We're going to start racing here at Talladega.
Yes, sir. Ooh, Daryl Young right here to the front. Very, very quick lap for him. Daryl Young to the front of the pack. Pole position for Daryl. Man, oh man, 53.18. I'll tell you what, entering this race, he was very, very confident in his abilities to get around this track, known to do a lot of money races and whatnot around the series and the league. Not the league, but in iRacing in general. And man, he knows how to get around this place. So solid effort for him. Bunch of drivers, though, Emery, deciding not to qualify so far. So what makes you think about that?
Yeah, I think they just want to start in the back. I think they want to avoid the big one, which can happen here at Talladega. If you get in that mix early on, we've talked about it, no fast repairs. You gotta be patient. If you get hurt early, you're done. Your day's done. It's hard to stay with the pack, especially with these setups. I think they want a clean car, and that's why they're going to start in the back.
Yes, sir. I agree for sure. So Daryl Young right now on the pole. Have about 45 seconds left to go before qualifying ends. And right now, it does not seem like anybody's going to come back out. They don't have the time to come out and finish that one qualifying lap. So that's going to be it. Daryl Young going to be our pole sitter. Tell you what, very, very cool for him. I can tell you what, he's going to be excited for that. Trying to get his first win of the season. And right now, securely in the playoffs. Did that last week at Road America. So he's comfortably in there. So this race he can kind of not worry about in the sense of points or getting into the playoffs. But man, oh man, he is trying to get his first win. And this is a great way to do it.
Yeah, he's looking strong early on. We've got actually 5 drivers: Robert Hassong, Jonathan Wright, Michael Lamphere, Frankie Barroso, and Josh Larson. All of your drivers are going to start in the back. They did not put a qualifying time in. So pretty interesting. Some of those guys want to stay all the way in the back, but maybe it's going to pay off for them. Right now, the driver up front, we talked about it. Daryl Young got the pole. He's in that 18. He is rocking a Harpoon design paint scheme, and they're looking really, really good. As these guys are going to get up, we're going to go through the field. We've got to go 94 laps to the finish here at Talladega. Action-packed, nonstop tonight here on Halloween, Steve. Let's get a little spooky.
I'll tell you what, spooky is the word I would use for sure. Talladega, going to be 3 wide all the way around this track. 2.66 miles is going to get real spooky real quick. Right now, though, this right here, Daryl Young is going to be your winner of the pole. Love that profile picture. Not sure what that is, but hey, we're going to go with it. It's a goose with a witch hat. That's just what it is. Hometown, your mom's house. I mean, hey, facts don't lie. Brandon Six and P2, not currently on the track. Looking good, though. Matt Smith. Big effort for him in P3. Awesome job right there. Looking very, very good. New paint scheme for him as well in that crash clinic. Looking pretty solid. Nice job there for P3. Roger Pierce, 4th place. Another great Halloween scheme. Nick Lights, 5th place. Jackson Anderson rolling off 6th. Again, amazing Halloween paint scheme by our great sponsor, Harpoon Design. Joseph Mealy, P7, rolling off. Great finish right there. James Kaufman, awesome start. P8 right there for him. Thomas Meeks, 9th place. Chris Vanderplaats, a lot of people in the chat love Chris Vanderplaats, so solid job there for him. Richard Walthover, P11, looking very good today. Trevor Zelazny, in P12. Solid effort right there for him. Devin Smerker in that 26 Cardano Hosky machine. Big shout out to all the folks in the chat for those two as well. A lot of Hosky and Cardano fans out there, so we appreciate you. Marshall Harris, 14th place in the Wonderbird machine, looking good today. Matthew Fleming, 15th. Scott Grossorn rolling off 16th. Donnie Honeycutt, 17th place right there. Kenny Reel, number 11 Jordan paint scheme. Love that for him. Brothers right here, DJ Honeycutt, Tyler Honeycutt, rolling off 19th and 20th. Nick Simpson, in that fresh-looking ride right there, looking very good. Sauer and Sun Machine rolling off 21st. Jonathan Wright, 22nd place. Michael Lanfear, 23rd. Frankie Barroso, big shocker here, not qualifying at the front, but deciding to obviously stay in the back, so we'll watch him for sure. Robert Hassong going to be in the number 8, rolling off 25th. ABR, American Badass Racing, actually starting off in the back of the pack, so they're going to be grouped up together here pretty quick, Emery. We'll watch for them. And then Josh Larson in the back as well, 26th place, rounding out the field. That's it right there. We have a long way to go. 94 laps, Emery. Stage 1 on lap 20 will be the mark.
It's gonna go by quick. The question is, do we stay green, or does the big one happen early? We shall see. Pace car still on the track right now. Lights are off. It will be jumping off here shortly. But Daryl Young, your pole sitter in the 18, that Harpoon design painted car is gonna start out front. He'll take us into turn 1 and 2. Brandon 6 up there in second. Matt Smith in the 29, the Chevy, third, and Roger Pierce in that 27 Chevy in fourth. Can't wait to see it. And I'll tell you what, Steve, you gotta work as a team. It's huge here at Talladega.
The biggest track we go to for sure, gonna be 3 wide pretty quick. These drivers might try and tame it down and be 2 wide for the most part at the beginning. It's a long race, Emery, 94 laps. It's half of a normal standard race in the real world. Right now, though, Daryl Young gonna try and lead as many laps as he can up front, get that stage win. Who's gonna get this coveted win? Who can sneak their way into the playoffs with a win here? It's a wild card race at Talladega. Let's get to it.
Base car is off, and we are about to go green. Daryl's gonna start on the inside. Green flag is out on Tuesday, Halloween. We're racing at Talladega. And that, my friend, maybe one of our quickest yellow cautions of the season. We got one early. Might have been a situation of a checkup in the back. We'll have to go back and take a look at that. Unfortunate for these drivers. Hopefully, don't have too much damage early on.
Tell you what, nothing spookier than missing a shift at the beginning of the restart. I think that's what that was. We'll go back and take a look here. I believe it was Trevor Zlasny and then Donnie Honeycutt. Zlasny right here. That's James Kaufman looks like.
Oh.
Up at the front. Oh man, I'll tell you what. This is gonna be. There's gonna be a lot of unhappy campers in this field right now. James Kaufman. We'll go back to him. We'll ride on board real quick and get a feel for it. But man, oh man, already.
Yes, looked like he missed a gear and checked up the whole field. Multiple cars involved. A few of those might have some serious damage as they barely get across the line here. We're on board of the 25 of James Kaufman.
Yeah, he just kind of stays in first gear. I'm not sure if, I don't know what happened there, but it's a tough break. Definitely collected some cars in the back. Trevor Zlasny, Johnny Honeycutt looks like he was involved. I believe Michael Lanfear as well. So I don't think anybody has some severe damage, but this is definitely enough to be incredibly annoyed if they were involved in this, and can't blame them. Hate to see it, but right now, either way, caution flag flies in lap 1.
We're gonna have to restack them and get them back out there. While we're here under caution, just want to say hi to everybody at home at Race Day Live watching on YouTube. Thanks for being here. We've got a great turnout here on a Tuesday, Halloween night. Hopefully you and your family had a good time. You probably have some people maybe still knocking on the door, getting some candy on his little special event at Talladega. Daryl Young still up front in the Chevy. He is still leading. Brandon 6 is there. Matt Smith, Nick Lights, Roger Pierce, your top 5.
Yes, sir. And right now, we're going to take some time real quick. No one's going to pit here, it would seem like. So we're going to go and thank our channel sponsors real fast. We'll come right back.
And we are back in Talladega. Had a early caution. We're going to bring in our pole setter. We're going to bring in Daryl Young to get a word with him if we can bring him in real quick. Daryl, you got a copy? It's me and Steve Tucker in the booth.
I do.
How you doing, man? You're out front. You got the pole. What are your thoughts on this race? It's way early, but looks like you're starting in the front.
Yeah, I'm glad I got the pole. It was a good lap. I was happy with it, and I just hope to stay up here. And we're gonna see how this restart goes. It's still very, very early, so no sense on getting too aggressive here. We'll just see how this first stage plays out and go from there.
Absolutely. That car tonight is looking fantastic. One of my favorite paint schemes on the track. I'll tell you what, Harpoon Design does a fantastic job. You want to talk about that a little bit before you get out of here?
Yeah, absolutely. Brantley does a great job. Does an absolute great job with paints. Sorry, I'm trying to focus here. It's telling us past pace car, so I'm not sure what to do here. Anyway, yeah, great paint. Shout out to him. Shout out to all the Halloween paints in here. They look good too.
Right on. Well, we'll figure it out on the track. Good luck to you. You're up front. Wish you the best of luck. 3 laps in, you got to go all the way to stage 20, and we'll talk to you later.
Thank you.
All right, so that is Daryl Young in the 18. It looks like we have a little bit of delay on the track. I think we have to go yellow one more time around, Steve, if I'm not corrected there.
Yeah, we'll have to find out for sure. It looks like, I mean, the pace car came out kind of right after it came in for the start of the race. So pace car just a little bit jumbled up right now, but it is all good.
And we got some damage there. That is the choose car on the track, Steve.
It would be. Our leader looks like Daryl Young might have kissed it a little bit, so not sure what the deal is with that, but we will find out. Tell you what, Emery, when we put on Talladega on Halloween, we knew instantly it was a terrible idea.
I mean, I'll tell you what, I don't know if the drivers or what's going on today. I think everybody's hungover from all these candy canes, but I don't even know what to say. Oh, man.
Pretty funny. All good. Yeah, Daryl Young looks like he might have, again, smooched the pace car or the choose car, but I don't see any damage, so I guess that's a good thing. But yeah, hey, a lot of things can happen, man, and this is one of them.
We might have got confirmation that he was eating candy while driving, and that's why it may have happened. So, all good. He's looks like he's got a clean car up front, and that's all you can ask for right now.
That's true.
And thank God. 3 laps down. These caution laps are very long, Steve. So, down the road, what are we looking like at for fuel? Are we going to have a green flag pit stop, you think?
No, not this early. No, I mean, tires aren't really a big factor in this race, which is really nice. And then, I mean, fuel is set at 75%, so I don't really see that being an issue in these first 2 stages. Stage 3 it might be, but right now, no. So everyone's kind of just chilling, trying to get this race going, man. Right now it's lap 4. Unfortunately, none of them have been started under green, so again, hate to see it, but man, that 46 looking pretty good right now. That Sour and Sun, a little bit of a revised paint scheme right here, looking like from none other than Harpoon Design. So looking pretty good today, man, in that number 46. Cannot miss that car on track. It looks good today.
I think that's one of the brightest cars we have on the field, that 46. He's got a lot of support at Race Day Live, too. Everybody home watching him always has big, big support cheering him on. Love to see that. Pace car lights are off, and we are about to go green. And we'll get this thing restarted again, Steve. I think everyone, all the nerves are going away. We're kind of settling in here. We're going to get this race underway and have a fun time on Halloween night. 4 laps in as it sits. Daryl Young still up front in that 18, that Chevy. He's going to take us into turn 1 and 2. Brandon 6 is starting on the outside. Matt Smith on the inside on that 29. Roger Pierce and Nick Lights at your top 5. We are about to go into the final turn, and we're going to go back green when they cross.
Yes, sir. Well, hey, we're going to try this thing again. Everyone pretty much already in their same spots where they qualified in, so we're going to give this another go. Unfortunately, that caution on lap 1 on the restart happened, but right now we're going to get back underway on lap 5. 15 laps to go until the end of stage 1. What will we see right now?
as they regroup here side by side as we are about to have a restart unfold. 5 laps down when they cross. We're going back. Green flag racing here at Talladega. Daryl Young and Brandon Six going to take us into turns 1 and 2. Daryl with the big jump on the outside. Can he stay up there?
Man, oh man, Jackson Anderson already down low right now. Field right now pretty well spread out.
Tell you what, Steve, for being the first lap, they are already diving up and down, trying to get position. 3 wide there for just a split second. And now up front, side by side, they've got a lot of space in that middle. Looks like the top line's making the bigger move here.
Yeah, these guys have to keep in mind too. I mean, points really for a lot of these guys matter, but getting that stage, getting that win, you have to get to the end of the race. So right now, this is all about endurance, not necessarily about speed right now, right this second. A lot of guys need this win.
Jackson in that 83 went middle and got left way behind. He is down about 5 or 7 spots as he finds a hole up top.
You can tell right now, this looks very different. The pack is all over the place. We're seeing kind of mini packs all over the place right here. Outside lane is pretty dominant, but not any too wide. A lot of guys didn't get the draft like they wanted to early on.
It is very interesting to see this spread out this early on. It's almost like there was a mid-accident that didn't draw caution, but that's not the case. There's almost 3 groups now. Single file on the outside. 27 is trying to get back in line so we can catch the draft. Now we have a line forming on the inside. Can they make a run?
Yeah, you can see it right now, Emery. The outside lane is pretty prevalent. Daryl Young leading the pack on the outside. We're seeing Matthew Fleming trying down low, though. He has teammate Thomas Meeks in line.
One driver making big moves early. That's Kenny Real. He's in that 14. The 12 just dropped down. He's going to get past Kenny Real now. Can he make a move?
Nick
3
Lice.
wide as we sit.
Man, Brandon Six went down way too late. I don't know if he thought he had time to go down in front of Nick Lights, but that was super late right there.
That's the second driver we've seen go to the middle and get left way back. Gonna lose some spots, but now Brandon Six is in the middle. He's got to push behind. That's Kenny Real, his teammate. Big checkup coming here. Ooh.
These guys gotta be super careful. They're racing as if this is the last lap. They can't be doing that. You have about 85 laps still remaining at Talladega. Hold on to her.
Your new leader, Nick Lights, in the 14, that Chevy. He's in the first spot. He's in that 12 car. Devin in that 26 as well, in that Ford, pushing him on the outside. They're making it work. Now the formation's looking a little bit better, Steve.
Yes, sir, it is. This is what we expected to see. A lot of guys had to kind of get, to your point, the nerves out of the system, maybe. We're seeing Walsifer jump out the outside lane. Has no help, so I'm not sure what this is. Right now is a good time to kind of ride around. I know they want to get to the front and get in those top 10 points for the stage, but still have 10 laps to go.
Yeah, the guys in the back, they got to just figure out which way they want to go. They want to stay on the inside or stay on the outside because you can't lose that draft. It seems like these cars can make pretty good runs as well, as we've got a train going on the outside. That's Nick Lights. Now Brandon 6 up front in that 66. Kenny Real teammate, the number 11, pushing him well. And 29 of Matt Smith right there.
Yeah, Tyler Honeycutt right there in the number 3. Got kind of freight trains in the middle. Either way, though, 3 wide up at the front.
So interesting to see these cars not stay in formation, because now we have 2 cars in the back that are getting left behind. 3 or 4 cars behind this front pack that just needs to get together so they can make this run and stay in the draft.
That's right.
2 by 2.
In this secondary pack right now, led by Matthew Fleming. I mean, these guys right here, if they want to catch that front pack, they're going to be single file. And right now, we're not really doing that. So a lot of different varying things going on right now. A lot of guys just, seems like a lot of impatience right now going on, Emery.
Yeah, I would say that as well. 11 laps down. We got to go to the 20 mark. Brandon 6 would get the stage 1 win if it stays true. I don't think a lot of drivers are really caring about this first stage. They just kind of hanging in the back. Pretty decent driving up front, though. Daryl Young on it in that 18 on the inside, making it work. Trying to get past Brandon 6. I think we'll start seeing this all day long, Steve. Kenny and Brandon working as teammates, really figuring it out here at Talladega early on.
Hey, but don't count these guys out. I mean, look at this. Kenny Real, Frankie Barroso up at the front right now. Kenny Real in P2 up 15 spots. Frankie Barroso up 16 spots. So these guys got themselves to the front in a hurry.
Yeah, I thought Frankie was going to hang back more than he did. He's already up there in the top 10. Kenny Real kind of got out of place there on the outside, drops a few spots.
Ooh, Nick Lights gets super loose. Devin Smirker right behind him, man. Look at this. Not lifting a finger. These guys, Emery, I'm telling you, they're racing like it's the last lap.
They're making it work. No cautions just yet. They're still doing 3 wide up front here.
It's working for now, man, but I'll tell you what, this is not going to last too much longer. You got to get yourself to the front. People like Frankie Barroso, Brandon 6, Smirker, they've got wins, or they've got, points enough to get to the front. Roger Pierce, Daryl Young up front as well. They're already locked in. So they can be a little bold in their moves, but man, I'll tell you what, if you're Matt Smith, if you're Kenny Real, those guys, you have to be careful.
Thomas Meeks in the 55. He dropped back a little bit, but I like the way he's doing it. I think he's gonna be strong finish today. He's working with that car up front. He's pushing really well. Thomas Meeks, another driver that can come out here and win at any time in that 55.
That's right, yeah. Meeks is definitely good at these tracks. All of Flagship is really good, but today, Smirker has a little bit of a alliance with Flagship Racing, or Flagship Motorsports, excuse me, so expect to see them in a line just like they are right now.
It is nice to find friends early when you're on a super speedway, because at the end of the race, they can make or break it for you. As we're seeing 66 of Brandon kind of get out of place there. He's going to drop back to the middle and go all the way back there. Daryl Young still up front now. Devin in the 26 to 40. He's on the inside. He's your new leader. As Joseph Mealy and Matthew Fleming and Thomas Meeks, we just talked about him. Now they are up front. That's your top 5.
Scott Gasorn on the outside, trying to make a move. Gonna block that lane. Oh, Daryl Young. Scott Gasorn tries to block, I guess, but man, Daryl Young just does not make that work. I think Daryl tried to squeeze on the outside real quick to try and get around Scott, but man, just didn't have the time. It's gonna hurt his car a little bit. That's a big, big move right there for our pole sitter, but that'll break up this pack quite a bit.
See if they can get back into formation. Kenny Reel's trying to find a spot. goes to the middle. Now it's going to probably drop to the bottom. And that'll get him close to his teammate, Brandon. We got a lap car up front. He's going to stay low. This could get a little dicey as 6 goes middle. That's going to be 3 wide. All is clear. Yep. Devin in that Ford, that 26, still up front.
Tony Honeycutt right now a lap down, had to fix some damage. This pack is getting wild. Tyler Honeycutt, ooh, up from the outside.
We are 4 wide, Steve.
Oof, that was so close. Made it work. Walsifer.
Looks like Brandon gave him a little tap up there. He got out of line, but let him come back. They are still on the bottom. The formation's looking good. For how chaotic it's been, Steve, they are still green, 17 laps down. We only got a couple more to get to 20, and that will be the first stage.
Yes, sir. The caution will fly at the beginning of lap 20. It's about 2 laps away, but man, this is just getting crazy. 2 wide. They are acting like it's the last couple laps.
Pretty exciting on Halloween night. And as you see it now, Steve, Brandon 6, Frankie Barroso, teammates, they are helping each other out. Frankie's doing a good job pushing Brandon.
And right there, a power move by Roger Pierce to get to the outside lane in front of Devin Smirker. Devin, though, going to let him go. Gets down. Oh, man, great move in front of Richard Walsifer to the inside line. Smirker looking tough today to beat. Awesome move right there. Very defensive.
That was defensive, but it was clean. He gave enough time. The drivers knew he was making his move, and it didn't make a huge checkup. All is clear. It's a very safe drive by him.
That's right. This right here is going to be for the stage end. This time by stage number 1 ends. Richard Walsifer
up there in the 56. He is going to pull away here. He might get the stage 1 win at Talladega. Oh, gets a tap.
Oh, Roger Pierce. Big yellow right here. Richard Walsifer going to win our stage 1. Big wreck right there. I cannot believe that didn't involve anybody else. Roger Pierce seemingly got through that unscathed. Did not hit a wall. Just spun out right there. Yeah, see, very minimal damage right there to that number 27. So super lucky for Roger Pierce. But man, like we said, Emery, these guys are driving as if it's the last lap. Stage 1 winner does not advance yourself to the playoffs, but man, they sure thought it did.
Steve, I'll tell you what, I would typically say, hey, let's cool these drivers down a little bit, but you know what? Halloween night on a Tuesday, I think it's been great racing, and they're doing a hell of a job, and love to see it. Richard in that 56, the Chevy, is going to get a stage point win. Congratulations to him on that. Devin in that 26 is second, Joseph Mealy third, Matthew Fleming in the 88 is fourth, and Thomas Meeks in the 55, that Chevy. That is your top 5 as it sits, and we are going to go back green after they go and get some fresh tires, get some fuel in them, and that stage will end at 46 laps.
Yes, sir. Man, that was a wild time. We're going to go talk to Walsifer for sure. Let's go and thank our channel sponsors real quick before they come down pit road. We'll come right back.
And we are back here at Talladega, Halloween night on a Tuesday, as they are in the pits. making some adjustments, going to get back out there. And we're going to have a word with our stage 1 winner here in just a minute. I think we'll bring in that 56 of Richard in the Chevy. See what he thinks out there.
See if we can track him down real fast. Let's see if he's even available, actually. Where are you? Actually, don't even see him.
Well, we'll have to wait then. I guess Richard doesn't want to have a conversation in the booth today, and that's fine. Probably worrying about that race. He's got to keep his eyes focused on the prize. But as we're still under caution, maybe we can bring in another driver.
Yeah, I mean, geez, who do we bring in? I mean,
we could bring in anybody at this point.
Pick him. Hey, you know what? I've got an idea. This is who everybody wants. Let's bring in the man, the myth, the legend, Nick
Love
Simpson.
Let's bring in Nick Simpson.
Where? Hold on now.
Come on, Nick. This is your time to shine, Nick.
Here he is.
All right, so we do have Nick. Nick, you got a copy?
Yep.
Nick, you're in that 46, that new paint scheme. Love the look. How are you feeling out there at Talladega?
Yeah, feeling pretty good. I'm just trying to stay out of trouble in the back of the pack here. There's a lot of race to go, so just trying to keep the car clean and out of the pits, you know?
Oh, absolutely. It's been wild so far in this race. Steve, you got something for Nick before we get him out of the booth?
Yeah, I mean, just kind of like assess Nick if you can, just like the aggression level tonight. I mean, it seems like it's stage 1, 20 laps in, and guys are just fighting as if it's the last lap. So can you describe kind of why you think it's so aggressive right now? Like, what's the vibe out there?
Yeah, guys are all over the track right now, going high, going low. Guys I'm running with, they're all over the place. I think everyone's all over the place. Pretty loose out here. But yeah, I'm just trying to stay clean, just try to stay out of trouble right now and be up at the front at the end, you know? That's what it's about.
Well, there you have it. That is Nick Simpson in that 46. Trying to keep the car clean. Appreciate you being in here, and good luck to the rest of the race.
All right, we'll see you guys at the end.
All right, Steve. Well, man, I didn't think I would see this race go out as it's gone. I really thought we'd have more patience. Guys would try to get used to the track first and maybe do a little 3 wide here and there, but it's been chaotic. But the race has been fantastic too, Steve.
I mean, listen, man, I don't know what else we can say. Talladega on Halloween, and it's the regular season finale. It's going to be chaotic. It's going to be insane. It's going to be a mess. People are going to be, leaving this race probably pissed off, right? Like, that's just how it is. And but we put it on the schedule for that particular reason. It's always chaotic. And what better way than to celebrate on Halloween? Man, this is just getting started. Lap 22. It's going to get nuts. Our next caution that we have, we'll bring in Brantley from Harpoon Design. He is also spotting today for his team, so we're not going to interrupt him by bringing him in during green flag laps. So no worries there. But man, we're going back green, Emery, pretty soon. What do you make of this race so far?
Man, I'm speechless. I think we'll continue to see it happen. 22 laps in, we got to go to the 75. No, excuse me, we got to go all the way to the 46, I believe it is, for stage 2. And I don't know. I'm not sure if these cars will be clean after stage 2. I think we'll start seeing some. I think we'll see a big one happen. I can just feel it in the air. And I just want to give a big shout out to everybody home at Race Day Live tuning in. Thanks for being here. All of our sponsors: Admin Box, Units, Moving Portable Storage, Battle Beaver, obviously Harpoon Design, and also SimMotion. Thanks for everybody being a part of Season 5. It's been fantastic. I cannot wait to go back green. Devin in that 26, he will be your leader. Tyler Honeycutt, he's up 18 spots. He's in that Chevy, that number 3. He's second. Frankie Barroso started in the back, 20 spots. He's in third. Matthew Fleming in fourth. And Nick Lights, he is in fifth. That is your top 5 when we go back green on Halloween night. Man, oh man, Steve. A lot of stuff going on today.
Yeah, it's crazy. Right now we're going back green, though. Tyler Honeycutt going to be leading the field here with Devin Smirker. So some pit strategy already involved right here. So we're gonna see how this rolls, man. I'll tell you what, it's gonna get hairy. Stage 2 ends at lap 45, so I have about 20-ish laps to go before we decide that right there. But Richard Walsifer gets his first stage win of the season. Awesome job there for him. So I'll tell you what, a lot going on. Next week, we'll have the All-Star Race, which will be an awesome time. Chicagoland will be the place. We'll have the All-Star Open and then the All-Star Race itself in the same night. All-Star Race is pretty cool, Emery. We have a basically it's like a battle royale, elimination style. Back quarter, of the field gets eliminated after every stage. So it's pretty cool. That'll be next week, next Tuesday, and then the week after we'll have a break week, as we always do. So, and then playoffs begin in Michigan. So, a lot of cool things going on here for the ASRA, and as always, just a lot of fun. But right now, pace car's going to turn left, Emery. We're going back green, man.
We are going to go back green. The pace car is going to pull off. Devin and Tyler, you're 1 and 2. Going to take us into turn 1 and 2. When we cross, we'll be green flag racing at Talladega. It's been a show early on for Halloween night. Can't wait to see what these guys can do. A lot on the line here at Talladega as Devin is going to get a green flag in that Ford. We are off. A big jump on the outside lane. Devin and Frankie, Nick Lights, Thomas Meeks, all right there working together. And we got 2 cars on the inside. They are off the track. Looks like they're going to stay green.
Man, yeah, Taylor Honeycutt, Matthew Fleming involved right there on the backstretch. No yellow, it happened off the track, so we stay green. Man, oh man, tough break for those two. We'll need a caution for sure to catch up to the pack and to the draft. Unlucky right there for sure.
That's going to be tough to come back from that this early on in stage 2. We got a lot of laps left. And that's a situation where you will not find the front of the pack until we go back into a caution. Not sure what happened. Looked like some net code or maybe just some miscommunication with their spotter. No harm, no foul. Both cars are good. We're still green. We're watching Jackson in the back there trying to navigate through this field. 26 still up front. Drops down in the 56. Him and Kenny Rail are pushing on the inside, making it work. Frankie's all by himself up top with Nick Lights behind him. Side by side, nothing 3 wide just yet. We're still seeing it, Steve. The formation of these cars is just not there. They're all over the place trying to fight for position early on. And Devin gets turned.
Wow, way off track for Devin. He might actually hold on to the draft here. Well, maybe not right there, but man, tough break. Tough pushing right here. You can see it. Frankie Barroso right now got into the back of Kenny Reel a little bit too. Almost caused a pile up. So, tell you what, loose conditions, all kinds of stuff going on right now. This is just chaotic, Emery.
3 to 4 cars that are now up front, started in the back. Kenny Reel, he's up 14 spots. Frankie's up there. He's up 18 spots. Brandon 6 trying to make that middle work. No one's behind him to help him. Now Simpson's in behind. They got to get a little closer, though, Steve. There's so much gap, so much room in between these cars.
Yeah, it just seems like, Emery, for me, I mean, a lot of these guys are just trying to get to the front as quick as they can. Everyone has that mentality right now. Nobody wants to just kind of sit in line and just ride these laps out, but it is, honestly, I can't believe we haven't had a big one yet, Emery, knock on wood, but man, this is just crazy good racing.
That could have been a broadcaster's curse, but we are still green.
Nope.
4 cars on the inside making it work. And that's Richard Brack out front. The 21 to 15.
Man, Kenny Reel right now gets backed up to his team. Oh, Thomas Meeks right here, super loose down low. Hold on to it. Man, we're seeing a lot of conditions here, Emery. Loose conditions on the cars and just bad pushes. Everyone's just so aggressive.
It's fun to watch at home. They're giving it all here at Talladega on Halloween night. Almost some single file now forming as we've got 2 rows and a big line, big long line on the inside. Oh, and he drops down, almost gets pushed. 28 laps in.
Man, look at these top 5 right here. Walsifer, DJ Honeycutt, who's already locked into the playoffs, but then Marshall Harris, Nick Simpson, Scott Casorn. A lot of guys up here who could use a win to get themselves into the playoffs. Man, can you imagine Nick Simpson or Scott Casorn getting into the playoffs right here from a win? That'd be incredible. Today could be that day, Emery.
Absolutely. They're just making it work on the inside. They're really tight, making that draft and work out. Can you reel back up top, getting pushed by his teammate Brandon.
Walsifer looking really strong today. I mean, we've seen him on other tracks. Looks pretty good. Struggles at some as everyone does. But man, he today has just looked stout in that 56.
We haven't talked about him much, but Josh Larson's now in your top 10. He's in that 51. He's up 21 spots. He started in the back. 30 laps down.
Looking very good right now. Definitely some connectivity issues right there for him, but holding on to it. But man, oh man, here we go. Single file right now on lap 30. So these guys might, heart rate's going down a little bit, might want to calm down and just ride it out for the next 15 laps until we get to stage 2.
Yeah, I think I heard some chatter on the drivers. They might have been talking to each other for a little bit and said, hey, let's just calm down. Let's go single file for a while. No reason to be 3 wide up front right now at this point in time of the race. 31 laps in. We got to go all the way to 94. So now we're seeing single file in 2 groups. One up front, one in the back. Some of these guys are about 6 seconds off pace. They got to make it all the way up. Richard, still your leader in that 56. That Chevy looking very strong, very consistent, and patient up front.
Yeah,
AJ Honeycomb, that 15. He's in second, right behind.
Yeah, the secondary pack, don't forget about them. A lot of these guys had issues, got loose off track, like Devin Smirker right here, Thomas Meeks in the front of this pack. But these guys right here, I actually kind of think they're in the catbird seat, man. If something happens in the bigger pack up front, these guys have enough time to, back up and avoid it, not have any issues. And these guys can definitely be in a good spot to hold on to their cars long term. So watch out for these guys in this pack right now. Daryl Young, your pole sitter. Again, very, very strong car. Matthew Fleming as well. So do not count any of these guys out. I think they've got something for them at the end.
Yeah, I think Thomas Meeks in that 55. He is the lead car of that second pack. And he's getting pushed by Devin. Chris Vanderplaat's right there too, the number 10 in the Chevy. He's out here racing on Talladega night. Good to see him back in the lineup.
Yes, sir. Always love to see him.
18. Yeah, love to see that. Real quick, Daryl Young in that 18. He's fallen all the way back to 23rd. He's got to make up some ground. Like we were just talking about it, it's easy to do at Talladega, but man, I'm not sure he wants to be back there considering from where he started.
Yeah, he's got some front nose damage, so it's not really looking too great for him as right now. I think he'll be a decent pusher, not necessarily a good leader. So, but yeah, it's just, hey, that's just how these stages go, these races go. It's unfortunate, but man, I'll tell you what, still a long race to go. A lot can happen.
That single file racing's kind of out the window. Jackson Anderson, he's in that top line, gonna make a move. Can he get pushed to the front? As now they're side by side, 33 laps down, 34 when they cross.
Anderson here going to get freight train down the middle, going to come down to the outside lane. Going to get right back in line. So that outside lane led by Roger Pierce, again, looked very strong earlier on. Spun, unfortunately, on the right at the entrance, or the exit of pit road. But man, looking good right now, still coming back to the front. Yellow flag out.
And that's going to bring out a caution. It looks like James Kaufman had a problem. Let's see what happened. Looks like he got loose and spun. I think his car's going to be okay. We'll have to take a look at the replay. This is our second caution of the day. Ooh, he gets turned. Couple cars involved here.
Yeah, Daryl Young involved again, man. I'll tell you what, he is just, I can promise you he's not happy today for sure with what's been going on. But man, this is involving James Kaufman. Looks like Joseph Mealy as well. So we'll go back a little bit and see if we can kind of piece this together. Now, Kaufman just kind of hits the brakes right there, it looked like, and then just got involved. So we'll go back a little further and see if we can kind of tell a story here. But man, this is not a good day for James Kaufman.
No, kind of looked like a checkup situation possibly. And then he got hit from behind and gets turned. So here comes a bit of a check. Gets out of place a little bit. Yeah, right there. I think his car's still good, Steve.
Yeah, it definitely is. But man, it's just a tough break. I mean, at that point we're single file. Not sure why the checkups are happening that hardcore, but yeah, that's just definitely not what you want to see.
Well, caution's out. I don't think anybody's going to go in the pits. I could be wrong there. I've kind of learned something, though. I will say that the inside lane is where you want to be. Richard has been on the inside consistently the whole second stage and has done a really good job. Everyone that's on the outside trying to catch him just can't get there. They just don't have enough help from behind, or I don't know if that top line's fast enough to get around him.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, right now he's looking very, very strong. I mean, a lot of guys, the outside line doesn't have enough steam, really. I mean, we saw Roger Pierce try that a second ago, but just didn't have the help necessarily to get to the front. So either way, he's still right there in fourth place, so it's working to a degree. But yeah, I mean, Walsford down low, that is the play. We saw Daryl Young try and run the outside lane earlier on, but worked for a while, but just not right now. So 36 laps in, we're about 8 laps to go until stage 2 concludes. So right now, I think it's a good time actually to bring in our good friend Brantley from Harpoon Design. Talk about what he's got going on over there. He's a great sponsor for us. Let's sneak him on in here if we can. Where's Brantley? There he is. Everyone be nice to him.
You got Brantley. Brantley, you got a copy. It's me and Steve in the booth.
Hey, I got you.
Right on. Hey, Tuesday night Halloween, and obviously you are the sponsor for this race. You want to talk about a little bit about Harpoon Design, some of these cars you got on the track that you obviously have painted, and they look amazing, by the way. Fantastic job.
Well, thanks. Yeah, I just took a scan through the field. It looks like I got about 12 cars that I painted in here tonight. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, love to see it. They've turned out really well. I love the Halloween themes. Each and one of them has been great. Steve, you got something for old Brantley before we get him out of the booth?
No, I mean, obviously just a great sponsor. I mean, right now we're seeing Daryl Young getting his car repaired from earlier incidents. So yeah, I just wanted to talk to you real quick, Brantley. I mean, what do you have going on in the shop? Where can people find you? Talk to us about like what kind of cars you do, and just let the folks know what they can expect when they go through harpoondesign.com.
Yeah, we do custom one-offs, harpoondesign.com. Pretty much only NASCAR. I do some dirt cars, but no road cars. But yeah, just go to harpoondesign.com, fill out a form, and I'll get started. I can usually be done in a day or two, depending on workload. And yeah, you see what I got. Check me out on Trading Paints. And love being a sponsor for you guys. You guys are awesome.
Right on. Well, thank you, Brantley, for coming to the booth. We appreciate it, and we'll talk with you maybe later today.
Thank you guys. Happy Halloween.
All right, happy Halloween. That is Mr. Brantley with Harpoon Designs. One of the nicest dudes, one of the best in the business in iRacing. I'll tell you what. He follow him on Twitter. You can check out all of his paint schemes. He does it so easily too. I mean, like you said, he'll be done in a couple days and can make it look just so nice. It's a lot easier said than done. There's a lot of time he puts into those designs.
Yes, sir. I mean, and you'll see him too, like in trading paints. Anything, like if you've ever raced on trading paints, like an official JGR paint scheme, whether it be Truex or Bell or right, like any of those guys, it was designed by Brantley from Harpoon Design. He is affiliated with JGR, so he's the one who makes all those paints. You'll see him in there, and he also does, again, custom paint work, obviously, and things like that. So a really, really fantastic job for him, and I'll tell you what, you will not be disappointed. He's not lying. About half of this field is done by him, and we've got a good-looking field always, just every single week. So definitely shout out to him and for, again, the partnership and just overall friendship too. I mean, sometimes, sponsors are great for, keeping the league running and things like that, but hey, friendships at the end of the day, that means a lot more. So right now, a lot of cool things going on over there, but hey, Emery, right now we're going back green, lap 38, about 7 laps to go before stage 2 concludes. Are we going to see a result like we did for stage 1, man?
I think we will, and I hate to say it right now on this restart, we still haven't seen the big one, and that is shocking as they are lined up side by side. Your number 56, Richards up front, going to take us into turn 1 and 2. DJ Honeycutt now is in second. He's in that 15 car. As the green flag's out, we are racing on a Tuesday for Halloween night. Richard and DJ into turn 1 and 2. They are side by side. I think on the backstretch in turns 3 and 4, we might see some 3 wide action, as now they're going to jump outside, still 2 by 2.
This is where it gets crazy right now. Everyone racked up together. We're seeing Thomas Meeks trying 3 wide over here in the middle. He's going to have help, though. Devin Smirker making a move here down low as well. Frankie Barroso on the outside. Who wants those stage points?
That middle line has just not been working for these drivers. A lot of them try to go middle. They get left and lose a ton of ground. Like we talked about it, Richard still up front the inside, making it work. Outside, getting a little bit of run. Brandon 6 in the back of that train. Ooh, 15 sideways. Thomas Meeks in the wall. Big hit. Yellow flags out again, and this might be the big one. Unfortunate day. I think Thomas Meeks might be done. He's got a lot of smoke. Unfortunate for him. I think he had a fast car. That is not what you want to see, Steve.
No, definitely isn't, man. That's a tough break for Thomas Meeks, man. That's just, it's heartbreaking right there. But right now, it looks like, hold on now. Looks like our iRacing might be a little frozen. Hopefully it comes back here in just a second. The stream is still going, so that's a good thing.
And that brings out our third true caution of the day. But we will get the stream rolling. Looks like we're okay at the moment, I believe.
No.
Unless we lost it.
Yeah, he hit the wall so hard that it just shut down on us. Give us a second, folks. We'll go and thank our sponsors while we go and figure this out. 1 second, folks.
And we are back. Sorry about that. Not sure exactly what happened, other than Thomas Meeks hitting the wall so hard that our stream crashed. But either way, we're back live on Halloween night. Steve, a little spooky there.
Hey, you know what? This is just the power of technology and internet and just all kinds of stuff, right? Hey, the stream kept going, but the sim just said, nope, we're not doing this anymore. So unfortunate. Thomas Meeks did hit the wall there pretty hard, but luckily, basically a single car incident. So no harm, no foul for the majority of the field here. Thomas Meeks, unfortunately, out of the race. So we're gonna go back green though, just under a lap 42. So that was not the caution that ended the stage. So lap 45 will still remain the caution end. So we'll see how this goes. But man, oh man, tough day for a couple drivers.
Absolutely. It's tough to see Thomas Meeks out this early. I know he wanted to be there at the end. I think his day will be done. Richard up front, 56, and now Josh Larson. He's up 25 spots. He's going to start on the outside. Once we go back green, we're going to have a shootout. We only got to go to the 45 mark for that stage 2 end. And these drivers are going to try to get some more points on the board. As a lot of these points matter before playoffs. Richard, one of those guys trying to get in late in this season to make the playoffs. Can he do it here today? He's been consistent and looking very nice up front. Frankie Barroso, he started in the back. He's now sitting 4th. Scott Gasorn, he's in that 7th. The Chevy, he's up 11 spots, starting 5th on this restart. Roger Pierce, Nicholas Simpson in that 46. He's in 7th. Matt Smith in 8th. Kenny Real, he's in 9th. And Brandon 6 is in 10th. That is your top 10 as we go back to green flag racing. Steve, I think we'll continue to see the hard racing and nonstop action on Halloween here.
Hey, I'll tell you what, Thomas Meeks hit that wall so hard, Marshall Harris got a better paint scheme because we came back onto the sim, and right now he's got the Harpoon design colors looking really good today, and the number 21 looking solid today. But back to your point, we're going back green, baby. Let's get it.
Let's get it. We only have a couple laps left till the end of stage 2. Who's going to get that point right now? Richard up front. No one can stop him. He's been consistent. Marshall Harris in the 12. Frankie, Scott, Roger Pierce. We're going back green flag at Talladega. Happy Halloween.
So here we go, 2-lap shootout right here to determine the stage 2 finish. Can Richard Walsifer, man, can he get it back to back today? Looking very good, but Josh Larson on the outside lane. What can he do?
Josh Larson's getting one of the bigger pushes on the outside we've seen here. Can he get past Richard? Getting a lot of help from Frankie in the 48. Fantastic job by him.
Yeah, Josh Larson right now entering this race, 31 points to the good. Needed some good points today, some good stage points to make himself feel really good about getting into these playoffs. And right now, this could be it for him. Going to be 1 lap to go for stage 2 at the line.
As they go one more time around, Josh is now your leader up there. Frankie's still right behind, doing everything he can to get Josh to the front. They are 3 wide. Oh, outside, Kenny's in the wall. Jackson got into Kenny. We're still green.
Big shakeup. I'll tell you what, Josh Larson being pushed by Frankie Barroso, in my opinion, one of the best pushers in this league right now. Marshall Harris trying to push Richard Walsifer, but unsuccessful. What can Frankie do here?
Richard's been so fast on that inside, though. Now they're on the back stretch. Oh, 3 wide at the end here. Josh Larson up front. Is he going to get the stage 2 win? And he does. Josh Larson, the 51, is going to get some points on the board for playoffs. Congratulations to him as Frankie pushed him all the way through. We'll have a word with him after they go into the pits. Man, oh man, where has Josh Larson came from? 26 spots up. Is now sitting up front when we go back green.
I'll tell you what, Josh Larson needed that right there. Great move. Marshall Harris, though, got a little bit rowdy right there. Went below the yellow line. It's all said and done. It's all good now. Didn't make the actual pass, but you cannot make that pass or any pass underneath that yellow line anytime in this race. So gotta watch out for that. But Josh Larson with the stage win. Huge job for him. Second stage win of the season. That'll be one more playoff point for Josh Larson. So a fantastic job. Frankie Barroso finishing P2. Nick Simpson, hold on, P3 in stage number 2. Tell you what, he is looking sharp today, man. Richard Walson for 4th place. James Kaufman 5th, even after all of his struggles. 5th place right there in stage 2. So great shakeup, great job right now on lap 46. Folks, we just talked to our channel sponsors quite a bit trying to figure out that break. So let's watch these drivers as they come down pit road and see what they decide. But man, oh man, Josh Larson has got to be excited about that one.
Yeah, I think at this point of the race, you want to be up front. Josh Larson's in a good spot. Nicholas Simpson, man, I bet you everybody at home at Race Day Live just loving this. He is having an outing on Halloween night. Love all the support as well for all you ladies and gentlemen watching at home at Race Day Live on YouTube. Appreciate you being here. But man, oh man, Frankie's up there. James Kaufman, Roger Pierce, Marshall Harris up 7 spots. He's in 7. Brandon 6, Matt Smith, Chris Vanderplatz. That number 10, that Chevy, he's in the top 10. As these guys come down, get some fuel. You get some tires, maybe 2 tires on the outside. Steve, what are your thoughts?
I mean, why not? Sometimes it's kind of nice to take the left side tires, believe it or not, kind of early in the race, and then switch to the rights later in the race. It's kind of a strategy I like to employ. Definitely helps me at least get through the race and then take that fuel, obviously, later on. But man, oh man, right now, that's the end of the stage 2. This whole second half of the race is much longer than, you know, everything else. We still have about a little over 50 laps to go. So fuel will definitely play into a pretty big role as we see the second half of this race go on. But I'll tell you what, this is going to get pretty dicey. Joseph Milley, though, looks like he's going to be our leader coming off of pit road. So awesome job here for him. Josh Larson, though, still on pit road, so I'm not sure what's going on with him, but let's try and see if we can sneak him on down into the booth. Stage 1 or stage 2 winner. Tell you what, he's going to be pumped up. Let's bring him in. Here he is. Hey,
Right, Josh, you got a copy.
Yeah, I got you.
Hey, Josh, it's Emery and Steve in the booth. You got your stage 2 win. Congratulations on that. How do you feel? What's the car feel like? What's the track feel like?
Hey, everything feels great. Car feels good. Track feels good.
Steve, you got something for Josh?
No, man. Hey, stage 2 win, your second stage of the season. I mean, are you good? What's happening here?
I just had to run to the porta potty real quick. You guys caught me mid-run back to the car.
So that's why you're still in the pits. Are you taking a break and then getting back out there?
Well, I had to go pee, get some ice cream, and then I'm getting back out here. That's why we were so fast, that second stage right there, because I had to get this stage over with.
Fantastic. I love it. That is Josh Larson in the 51 doing whatever he had to do. He had to take care of business, but now he's back out there on the track. He is your stage 2 winner. Josh, good luck to you, man.
Thank you, guys.
All right. Steve, what is
Oh,
going on? Is it
word.
Twilight Zone tonight? What is happening on Halloween? This is kind of what I expected, and it's just above and beyond. I just love it.
Josh Larson with the all-time interview. I'll tell you what, just nothing better. The only other one I can think of was Brian Dixon, God bless him, from season 3. Just won the race at the New Atlanta, and says, "Hold on, guys, I just spilt my beer," and it's just chaos ensued after that. Oh my word, man, just a great time. Larson always putting on a show on and off the track. But man, hey, stage 2 winner, love to see it. But Joseph Mealy, Devin Smirker got a new batch of drivers up front here. A lot of really fast guys. So what can they do to get to the end of this race, man? I'll tell you what, a lot of guys, Josh Larson, Richard Wolsifer, kind of some unexpected drivers getting to the front, winning these stages. Who can win this race? It's a long way to go. Can they stay patient enough to do it?
Yeah, it's been quite the mix-up after they left the pits. You got guys like Michael Lamphere in the Ford. He's up 20 spots now. He's going to start 6th on this restart. Donnie Honeycutt in the 22. He's 7th. Nicholas Simpson, we talked about him. He dropped a few spots. But man, oh man, the field's kind of flip-flopped. It's kind of changed quite a bit. Chris Vanderplat's lost a ton of spots. He's back there in 20th, 19th position. So a lot of mix-up. We'll see what these boys can do when we go back green flag. I want to say the first part of this last stage, when we go green, I think they're going to calm it down. We might see some single file really early, late in this race.
Yeah, I think that's really how it should go, to be honest. I mean, these guys, right? A lot of them, Michael Lamphere up to the front now, James Kaufman, right? One win, Nick Simpson. One win is all it takes to get themselves into the playoffs. They have to be consistent. They have to keep their fenders on the car. So if they can do that, if they can hold on to it and get to the end of this race, they can get themselves into that position. That's all it comes down to at these tracks. Get yourself into position to win the race. And right now they're doing just that. But green flag is in the air. Joseph Mealy leads us off.
Joseph Mealy in the 39. He's working on the inside. Got help from Brandon 6. Turns 1 and 2. Devin on the outside. He's got Nick Lights behind him. Interesting move by Joseph Mealy. Decides to jump up front, up top. And now Devin's going to push him. Brandon 6 is going to fall back just a few spots as we got some cars loose in the back. 115 is in the wall.
Yeah, we're noticing, Emery, a lot of these guys in the mid to back pack, they can't quite catch the draft on these restarts like they want to. I'm not sure if that's the package this car has or the setup, but it's just the mid pack just can't quite get sucked up to the front like they want to early on.
Yeah, not sure if it's the restarts or not, but you're right. We're seeing cars fall way back, and it's kind of a jumbled mess up front as we are 3 wide. Tight racing. It just doesn't seem like that middle pack can gain anything, Steve. You get in the middle there, you get drafted and pushed all the way farther and farther back there. The outside and inside lanes are working.
Yeah, it definitely is tough right now. I mean, he's a lot of these guys, man. Outside lane's working pretty well. The middle lane, though, led by Roger Pierce. I'll tell you what, if Pierce can get back to the front, he can be dangerous here. He just has to have good help to get there. He's got stage 1 winner Richard Walstifer right behind him. This could be a good ingredient.
As we got Michael Lamphere, the Ford, he's in first in that 13. Brandon 6 is now in second, pushing him. Where did Michael Lamphere come from? 25 spots up, started from the back, and now is your leader here at Talladega. Can he get a win this season?
I'll tell you what, man, Lamphere's a sneaky one. He's very quick, but always doesn't have the luck like some guys do. But man, up to P1, I'm not shocked by that. Lamphere's a fast guy. He knows how to make this work.
He's kind of doing the same thing Richard did when he was up front, just being consistent, staying down. That is the faster line here today. Outside lane just can't gain the traction it needs to make it work. 52 laps down. We got to go all the way to the 94 mark.
Yes, sir. We're about 2 laps away from 40 laps to go. So definitely a big chunk of this race. This is going to come down to it, man. A lot of these guys were here having a hard time holding. It's a tongue twister, Emery. Holding that yellow line. These guys, man. Outside. One thing I'm noticing though, outside lane is extreme outside, and inside lane is very well inside against the yellow line. Nobody's really like the outside lane. Typically, we'll see them in that secondary lane next to the inside line, but they're not. It's the whole middle lane is empty.
It's interesting you say that. There's no side drafting. I mean, it's just crazy. It's nothing that I've really seen much. It's always you know, usually it's always about some side drafts and momentum, as now we're seeing the outside lane make it work a little bit. Michael Lamphere is going to drop back. Your new leader's Joseph Bailey at 39. That's Chevy. Devin's right behind him.
Fleming not really having a draft right now. He's upside. But just like
gonna
that,
make a run here.
Just like that, 3 wide happens at Talladega. It can happen in a blink.
Oh, Sixes gets pushed out of line there. He's on the inside. Gonna try to keep it green. He's in the grass. Man, oh man. That is harder to do right there. That looked easy, but he was hanging on for dear life. He's back on the track. No foul. 54 laps down. We've got a lot of traction up here.
And look at who's back into P1, Emery. Our pole setter, Daryl Young, after a pretty rough stage 1, gutting into some just some rough incidents and whatnot, up back at the front. Tell you what, he is just relentless, looking very good early.
Daryl Young coming back from some cautions and some getting turned a little bit of damage on that car, but looking good now up front. Big push by the 27 and the 56. Steve, there's been so many checkups. It's crazy to see. I think it's just the setup. I think it's these cars at Talladega. I'm seeing it more often than not. As we see it again, Daryl Young just getting slammed in the back there on the inside.
That's what it comes down to, man. I mean, right now, drafting is just so tough. This package, this setup, it just makes these guys aggressive. And right now, we're seeing it.
Yeah, I'm hearing the drivers talk about it a little bit with the checkups. You got to communicate with these drivers.
It's kind of like rush hour traffic, Emery, right? I mean, when you're in the traffic, nobody can just go, 5 miles an hour consistently, right? It's always stop and go, stop and go. It's just like that, but at 180 miles an hour, right? So that's the thing they got to do. A lot of guys, if you're leading these packs, you're not saving fuel. If you're second or third or fourth back on further, you're not going full speed. You want to save onto that fuel. So a lot of guys trying different strategies, different ways to drive this car around this 2.66 mile track.
Nicholas Simpson in that 46, still up there in third. Right behind Nick Lights as we're on board with him. Jumps to the inside. Good move by him, as now he's going to have Daryl Young pushing him to the front.
Nick Simpson, man, can he lead a lap today for the ASRA Cup Series Harpoon Design 250? He is right there. A lot of drivers back up to the front. We're seeing CVP climb his way up too, that white and purple car on the outside lane. Looking good. Nick Simpson to the front.
Nick Simpson to the front, 57 laps down, 58 when they cross. Can he get his first lap of the season?
And there it is. The chat's going to go wild right now. Nick Simpson to the front, leads a lap. On the outside, though, getting drafted by Daryl Young and Roger Pierce. Man, oh man.
Nick Simpson jumped way up top. Now we're going to be 3 wide. Daryl Young's doing everything he can to keep that car straight and push him up. What a bold move that was, Steve. All is good. We are still green. 58 laps down. And now he's got his work cut out for him, trying to hang on to that car on the outside, 3 wide.
I'll tell you what, he got that paint scheme redone by Harpoon Design, and he's all of a sudden a stud. Right now, leading this field, looking pretty good, Nick Simpson. But hold on, Joseph Mealy and Nick Lights in the middle are going to try and lead this lap too. And they do, but don't forget Richard Wolsifer, down low, stage 1 winner. Man, oh man, we have a lot of players up right now on lap 60.
Got a lot of stuff going on. Richard on the inside, feeling comfortable right there. Can he stay true? Can he get back up to the front? Josh Larson's getting way up front with Matt Fleming and Nick Lights. All these big time movers. Josh Larson's up 23 spot. Nicholas Simpson's up 15. Michael Lanfear's up 19 spot.
Yeah, big moment there for Marshall Harris and Roger Pierce. I believe those were the two. Got into some contact right there. Kept it going, but man, Roger got real squirrely.
Brandon 6. Yeah, back in the pack. I was just going to talk about Brandon 6 and the 22, or the 66, sorry. He's all the way in 22nd spot. Down 20 spots now. He's doing everything he can to get back up to the front. I just don't think he has enough help at the moment.
Hey, we haven't talked much about like these guys back here, right? Robert Hassong, Jonathan Wright. These guys, ABR drivers, I think they're back here on purpose. They're just kind of chilling. They want to get to the front. They know that they have to win a race to get into the playoffs. Haven't quite had the season they wanted to, but man, this is pretty smart for them. If one big one happens, they're right into this thing, and they are good at these tracks, man. So watch out for them as we count these laps down.
No, you're absolutely right. And they have enough cars to be able to kind of control where they want to be. If they want to fall back, they can. If they want to catch back up, they can do that as well. Oh, we've got a big wreck as we talk about it. One car's in the wall sideways. Jonathan Wright may be involved there. Still green.
Yeah, we're seeing it right here, man. Just talking about him. No way. Let's go back real quick if we can and see if we can happen. Ooh, already backwards on the track, man. What happened here?
We were just talking about it. Unfortunate mistake back here where there wasn't a lot going on. So he's not going to be very upset about this. And now he's going to need a caution to get back and onto lead lap.
Oh, there it is right there. Harris and Jonathan Wright just got tagged together. Not sure really who's at fault that was per se, but we'll go back live right now. But man, oh man, that's a crazy situation right there. Jonathan Wright not going to be happy. No yellow. That's a huge shock that happened on the racing surface. But hey, either way, we're back green.
Little better formation up front now. Joseph Mealing, the 39's up front in the lead. Nick Lights, Matthew Fleming, Josh Larson. Simpson moved up to 5th spot.
I'll tell you what, man, we've seen a lot of like single car incidents that are just really odd, right? Like Roger Pierce spinning out, didn't get hit by anybody. Jonathan Wright right there got tagged, no caution. A lot of just really interesting things happening. These one-off scenarios that don't normally happen. I can only imagine it's Halloween, man. It's just that kind of a day.
It's just been one of those days. And you're right. We haven't really seen the big one where we have multiple cars involved. We only have a few drivers that are off the track altogether. Thomas Meeks, his car got destroyed early on, but that's about it. Some cars may be a lap down, but the majority of the field is still in play, trying to get a win here at Talladega.
That's right. This great drone cam. I'll tell you what, I'm seeing Daryl Young and Roger Pierce back together again. Teammates working together. I'm telling you what, man, don't count them out to try and win this race. Again, these two are already locked into the playoffs by points. But these guys right here, tell you what, they just know how to get it done at this kind of a track. And they're showing it.
Yeah, that's scary at this point at the time of the race. 64 laps in. We're getting down to the nitty-gritty. You got those two guys, those two mates working together. That is a dangerous combo for these drivers up front.
Roger Pierce right now actually gets away from his teammate. Not good right there for him. Tyler Honeycutt in that great-looking pink paint scheme. Breast Cancer Awareness, the last day of it actually for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So big shout out to him and all the drivers who were Racing breast cancer awareness paint schemes. If you weren't here for it last week, go and check out last week's race, Road America, on the channel right here. That was our breast cancer awareness race. A lot of good support being shown and raised for that as well. So right now, up front though, Joseph Mealy, Nick Lights, best friends off the track. Right now, on the track, looking pretty good too. Flagship Motorsports teammates looking very good. Top 4 right now.
Man, oh man. Now they're single file up top. As I just say that, one car goes up. Gonna try to mix it up a little bit. Now that 3 car goes below. So now we're 3 wide, 66 laps in.
Man, Tyler Honeycutt making a great move right there to take over that middle lane in front of Josh Larson. Looking very, very good.
Matt Smith came up a little bit. Had some contact with Daryl Young. Young had to go all the way up to the wall, but he kept it straight.
Hey, one guy to watch out for, Donnie Honeycutt right here in that number 22. He was involved in that first caution on the very first lap, the first start of the race. Car's looking pretty clean. Fenders are all on it. And he finds himself in 5th place right now, so watch out for Donnie Honeycutt. Looking very strong today after a hard recovery.
Man, Joseph Mealy, Nick Lights, and Matt Fleming have figured something out because they're way ahead of the field. Coming up on some lap cars. Looks like Kenny Reel's going to stay down below. We got one car blinking on the track. Let's see if he can stay out there. For everybody at home watching, if your car continues to blink, typically they'll pull you off the track. Just a little bit of connection issue at home.
Yeah, Larson's staying down low right there all by himself, so much respect right there. Sometimes that happens again, just like we saw earlier. Our iRacing simulation just shuts down. That can be sometimes the nature of the beast, and right there, Josh Larson getting involved with that too, but stage 2 winner. Looking pretty solid.
I'd hate to see him have to pull off the track because of connection issue. He's been strong all day. See if he can make it work. Now we talked about the 2 teammates in the 27 and Richard are involved with some contact.
Nick Simpson as well involved, but Richard Walsifer, man oh man, again, no caution on the circuit. Tough catch for Richard Walsifer, a stage 1 winner.
Man, oh man, I just think these cautions are off track. Really, there's no big issues here. Some contact.
We'll try and catch it real quick if we can. Man, just an overall tough break. We were riding on board Walsifer as it happened, so we really couldn't tell. Looks like he might have crossed over with Roger Pierce, it would appear. We'll jump back live. Walsifer's back in the pits. That's a heartbreak for him. Stage 1 winner. That's going to severely change up this front pack right now. It's a 4-car pack right here. Mealy, Lights, Fleming, and Young. Donnie Honeycutt leading small 3-pack. Emery, man, this is going to change everything right here.
Yeah, that's going to be tough to catch those guys. They need some more help back here with those 3 cars. Joseph and Nick and Matt Fleming and Daryl Young, they can keep it all together. I bet you they can make it all the way to the end of this race. It's going to be between those 4. They absolutely do not want a caution to come out. These cars in the back just don't have enough help, I don't think. Not enough cars together to get that draft and to track them down. 25 to go here at Talladega. Halloween night has been wild. A lot of action going on. Different leaders. It's been a fun time.
It sure has. Nick Simpson was involved in that real quick, just to cover him. He had some right front damage, I believe, where Walsifer hit him. I don't think it's massive. I think once he comes under this green flag pit stop here shortly, he might be able to fix it. It's not too severe. I don't think he'll be great at leading per se, but definitely pushing can happen as he comes down pit road now.
Man, oh man. Guys in the back like Trevor in the 23, Brandon 6, and Scott in that 7, that Chevy. They wanted that caution to come out badly as they are trying to make their way back to the field. And that does not help their cause.
Yeah, this is the thing. I mean, if this race stays green, Emery, this is just going to be like, this is what we can expect. We're not going to really see a lot of pack racing anymore at this point. We need a caution to kind of bring it back to that. But with cars spread out just like this, well, here we go. Green flag pit stops. Flagship. Here they come.
Everybody coming into the pits. Nick Light's in there, Matt Fleming. Now, if this backpack can get out of the pits quick enough and catch these guys up front, then they can make a move. So I'm guessing they're just going to go down, get a little bit of fuel, get back out there. I'd be shocked if you got 4 tires at this point in time, but there is some drivers getting some tires.
This is shocking to me. The whole world comes down pit road right now. Very, very interesting to see. This might reignite a pack, but man, this is just... a lot is going on right now. Nick Simpson going a lap down. May be able to recover that if we get a yellow. But man, Trevor Zelazny up at the front though. Led by Brandon 6 and then Scott Casoren. So these guys not pitting yet. Leading a lap for Zelazny.
So that is an interesting strategy there. How much fuel did they have left in the tank to stay out? 23 to go. They still only have those 3 drivers together to work together with the draft. The guys that all pitted, they've got a big, big train. They can make up a lot of ground on these guys up front. So interesting to see them stay out, but might pay off for them. They are up front. Trevor, Brandon 6, Scott, that's 7. Nick Lights, Daryl Young, your top 5.
Yeah, right here, this is interesting because these guys came in together, but now they're spread apart. So Nick Lights right here, teammates to this smaller pack behind Frankie Barroso, Joseph Mealy. If I was Nick, I would slow down this little 3-pack just a tiny bit so that Frankie Barroso and these guys right here can catch up to him and make a 6-car pack right here. But doesn't look like that's the case, so not sure what these guys have cooking on right here.
Yeah, Nick Lights, Daryl Young, Matt Fleming, they could just hold off a little bit to connect with that crew behind them so that they can make up some more ground. But the way it's been playing out late in this race, I think it's just everyone doing their own thing as those 3 are going to just push it as hard as they can.
Yeah, this race, this can sometimes happen with super speedway racing. That mean the yellow flags don't necessarily come out. We've had situations where they probably should have, but haven't. So very, very interesting for sure. iRacing throws out the yellows, obviously, so it's all essentially computer generated when it comes out or when it gets triggered. But man, right now it's just one of those, just one of those wacky races, Emery, that we're witnessing right here. Right now, Trevor Zelazny being gifted the lead. These guys still have to pit for their green flag pit stops for fuel. Right now, though, hoping for a caution to come out because if they do, that will bring them to the front.
Yeah, it's been a very, very strange night. Typically, those cautions we've been seeing all day here are kind of one-off. It may happen here and there at super speedway, but for every single one of our cautions to play out the way it has, you don't see that ever. Talladega has brought something special tonight. Very, very wild ride for these guys up front too. Brandon 6, they're still out there on some old tires. Needs to get some fuel. 20 to go. How long can they stay out here? These boys need a caution. Cannot wait to see what this brings. 20 to go on Halloween.
Yes, sir.
We've had a lot of action, crazy stuff happening.
It has, man. But I'll tell you what, no big one. Just a lot of single car incidents. And right now, just the whole field spread out. Feels like a mile and a half right now. It's crazy. Either way, a lot of drivers out of the race. Richard Walsifer, Jonathan Wright out of the race. As you see on your tower right here, a lot of drivers in pit road. So Thomas Meeks, I believe, might be also out of the pits or out of the race. Excuse me. So yeah, a lot of drivers on pit road as well. It's just all over the place right now. Chris Vanderplatz is going to be your lucky dog if a caution were to come out. He's that driver 1 lap down. Nick Simpson, Tyler Honeycutt 1 lap down apiece, and then Kenny Reel 2 laps down. So that's your update as far as the drivers below a lap down. But right now, Trevor Zelazny is the leader. Brandon 6 is in P2. Here they come down pit road right now. What do they have for them? 2-car pack coming down pit road. This is probably not ideal for them, obviously, but they're going to want to catch a pack at this point. They need a caution. That's the situation for them.
Yeah, they absolutely do need a caution. We have about 3 or 4, maybe 5 different groups of a pack of 3. So if you just scroll down all these drivers, there is about 4 packs of three packs of drivers all together, just trying to keep it in there. 18 laps to go. So strange, man. Crazy race.
Tell you what, great job right now. This is just, Emery, I know we keep saying it, but this is everything I expected to happen and more. On Halloween, Talladega, our regular season finale. Unbelievable. Nick Lights right now leading the field. Again, he is subbing in. He's full-time now. Marshall Harris went over to the 21 car, forming a new team, and then Nick Lights is joining Flagship full-time for the rest of the season, so he's in that number 12 machine, formerly filled in by Marshall Harris. So doing a pretty good job. Did get that big win at Pocono, filling in. So lucky for him. He's not qualified for the playoffs because he is a sub inherently. So just looking for trophies right now. But man, Daryl Young in P2, Matthew Fleming in P3. This is the main pack. This is your 3 drivers at the front of the field right now. And I'll tell you what, this is it. 5 seconds back to Frankie Barroso. And this pack is kind of getting a little bigger, Emery. If these guys can kind of figure it out, they can catch those 3 drivers up front if this thing stays green.
Yeah, they've got plenty of time to do it. So if you're sitting there in that 48 car, you're going to love to see the help and try to make it all the way back up front. And I think they have enough cars to do it, Steve. We got 16 laps to go. That's a ton of time for them to make it happen. As you can see how close they are on the inside lane there. Bumper to bumper. It's going to be in no time to bring that field back up to the front. Nick Lights, Daryl Young, Matthew Fleming better watch out because they only have 4 laps, maybe 3 laps until this field catches. Frankie's going to drag the wheels off that car.
Yeah, and this is the tough thing. I mean, these guys have to catch the lead pack. If they don't, I mean, if these 3 guys right here have to kind of figure it out to see who wins this race, that is just so tough because Daryl Young in P2, he really can't make a solid move without Fleming going with him. But Fleming is also the teammate and team owner of Nick Lights in front of him. So he's going to stick with his teammate at all costs. That's going to be the tough part right here. That second pack led by Frankie Barroso has to catch this pack to make it entertaining for sure.
Yeah, Kenny Reel's a lap down, but guess what? He's a teammate, Frankie. So he's going to try to do everything he can to get him to the front.
Secondary pack right here being led by James Kaufman. Hey, had a pretty rough stage 1, Kaufman did, but hey, bounced back quite a bit. Right now in P7, having a great run right there. Devin Smerker in that Cardano Hosky machine. Again, big thanks to them too for sponsoring the series on multiple races. Always looking good there in number 26. So fantastic job. Thanks for being in the chat and supporting us. Love to see that right there. Josh Larson, stage 2 winner behind Jackson Anderson. And then Donnie Honeycutt looking fantastic. Brandon 6 and Zelazny holding on stronger there in 13th and 14th. A little further back, little pockets of cars, Emery, to your point. Scott Casor and Rubber Song together. So everybody kind of just tagging on wherever they can right now. Roger Pierce all by himself, but multiple laps down, unfortunately. Right now, I think it's a great time with 13 laps to go to do our race day live non-stop. We'll go and thank our channel sponsors, but you will not miss 1 inch of racing. We'll be right back.
And we are back at Talladega. You're looking at the front of the field. Nick Lights, Daryl Young, and Matthew Fleming. Can they stay up front? 11 laps to go here. We're coming down to the end of this race at Talladega. Frankie's trying in that second pack to catch him, but just can't. They're not gaining as much time as they should right now. They've got enough cars to do it. Not exactly sure what's happening, but they need to make a move right now to get to the front, Steve.
Yeah, they're not as organized, they would appear, as this front pack of the 3. I mean, Daryl Young's pushing Nick Lights really well, then Fleming is right there. So 3 cars in this scenario seems like it is better than 6. Right now, I mean, Matt Smith right now making a move around Frankie Barroso. This is definitely not going to help their abilities to get to the front. So really interesting choice for sure. 10 laps to go with the stripe. If nobody can catch them and if there's no caution, this is the race for the win right here. Nick Lights, Daryl Young, and Matthew Fleming. Matthew Fleming, though, if he can get this win, that'd be pretty massive for him. But man, this is just a tough, tough battle for everyone.
That battle at the end, if it stays true with these 3 drivers up front, there will be no more single file. You'll see Daryl Young, Matt Fleming try to pass Nick Lights at any point in time. So that will be wild to see. Can Frankie and this group in the back catch him? They're still not gaining as much as they should, but they're not out of the picture. They're not out of the window. They still can make it happen. Kenny Reel's talking to some drivers saying, hey, I need you closer behind me because we're not making any ground. They need to tighten up that line as they're trying to navigate through some lap cars. 9 laps to go now, Steve.
That's getting wild for sure. I mean, right now at the front, Daryl Young wants to win this race. He told me earlier he's very good at tracks like this. I don't think he expected to be at the end of this race in a pack of 3 different cars and him being one of them. But hey, this is sometimes what this racing will give to you. Most of our cars are still on the track, which is great to see. No big one in sight. But man, oh man, this is getting tough, tough, tough at the end of this thing. A lot of these guys, a yellow flag changes the entire race. But when cars are single file like this, it's just so hard to get one.
Yeah, you typically won't see it right now with that single file look. You got to have multiple cars involved. We've seen cautions all day long not bring out yellows. I don't think we'll see it here. Nick Simpson came down a little bit on these drivers up front. Daryl Young and Nick Lights. That was a close call. Man, oh man, 8 to go now. Daryl's still in second. As we're looking at the second pack back here, this is Kenny Reel, Frankie leading this pack. Now that formation's looking a little tighter. Can they make the move?
I'll tell you what, Matthew Smith leading this pack is still about 8 seconds back from the leaders. So with 8 laps to go, they have got to figure something out right now, or else they're just not going to catch him.
So here's the thing. You look at that pack, and then you see these 3 drivers. Look how close Daryl Young is on the back of Nick Lights. I mean, there's no gap there. He is just pushing him through the corners on the back straight. That's what you got to do to be fast at these super speedways. Daryl's doing a really good job keeping this train up front. and pushing Nick Lights.
Yeah, that's what it comes down to. Matthew Fleming obviously not pushing him too hard to not get into the front. You don't want to push the pusher, right? So in a case like this, these three just are making it work. There's three guys who know how to work this draft package very, very well. Matthew Fleming is among one of our best drafters in the series. I've seen him win races like this multiple times. So he is very, very good here. It's tough to determine for me who's in the better position. Nick Lights, I don't like leading this race just because obviously when Daryl Young makes his move, I mean, Matthew Fleming, who does he go with, right? I mean, Matthew Fleming, you think, is going to go with Nick Lights and kind of leave Daryl, to the wolves, but it's just a tough call. Does Matthew go for the win? Does he go with Daryl? It's just a tough call, man. Lot can happen here.
I mean, me personally, I like where Matt Fleming's at right now. He can kind of pick and choose if he wants to go high or stay low. He can kind of control those two guys up front when it comes down to it. So I think Matthew Fleming in third has a really good shot to get a win here. As we're looking back farther at these other drivers in the back, still running out of time. 5 to go now at Talladega.
Yeah, and these cars right here, Emery, they're not beat up or anything. They haven't really been involved in any wrecks. They're just not seemingly working well together as a 6-piece group to catch the leaders. They should, in theory, be able to catch the front, but they're just not able to do it.
We go back a little bit farther. Jackson Anderson, he's in 10th. He's leading right in front of Josh Larson and Donnie Honeycutt. Can they stay consistent here? Josh Larson was all the way up in the top 5. He was your stage 2 winner, now is in 11th. He's still up 16 spots from when he started. We now have 4 laps to go at Talladega.
At the end of the day, though, some great runs. If it stays the way it is, James Kaufman, P7's a great finish for him. Michael Lanphier at 9th place, awesome run as well. Devin Smirker obviously just kind of unable to get back to the front the way it is. Joseph Mealy, Matthew Smith having fantastic runs lately just to try and get into the playoffs. Right now, finds himself +8 entering this race. Right now, this will definitely, if math serves me right, will definitely get him into the playoffs. So a solid top 4 for him if this remains. But man, it all comes down to this pack right here. This 3-pack, Nick Lights, Daryl Young, and Matthew Fleming. What can they do? Who's going to win this race?
Man, it's so wild to have a race here at Talladega at the end of the season like this. So much can be on the line. You can either make or break your season to get yourself into playoffs. And we're about to see it unfold. Matthew Fleming in third. I was talking about it. I think he's in a perfect position to really see where Daryl Young is going to make the move. Is he going to go up high and then Matt stays low, or does he go with him? Nick Lights right now up front. That's a position I don't want to be because you don't have much help. 3 cars in a pack, you can get left in the dust. As they cross, we will have 2 laps to go. We are almost to our sim motion white flag. They got to go one more time around. Nick Lights still up front. This is going to get wild, Steve.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I think if you're Daryl Young, your only choice is to make your move at the very last lap, probably out of 4, maybe even entering the tri-oval, because you want to just get the slipstream. You want to be able to use the side draft to get around Nick Lights. You don't want to have to give Matthew Fleming an option on whether he helps his teammate or not. So I think that's the scenario here that Daryl has to look out for. It's going to be very interesting to see how that works out, man.
We got the 27 back there trying to catch up to that field. If the 27 can make that work, he's a teammate of Daryl Young. That's Roger Pierce. I just don't think he'll be able to do it. As they cross, Steve, up front, Nick Lights going to take us into the white flag sim motion. One more lap. They got to go around at Talladega. Who's going to get a win on Halloween Day? Nick Lights still up front.
Matthew Fleming, you can see him. He's holding back. He's trying to get that run. He knows how to get this done. What's he going to do right here? Is it too soon, too late? We're going to find out.
Gonna try to drop to the bottom, gets right behind Daryl Young in the 18. Does Daryl give Nick a little push?
Here
As they
comes
come
Fleming.
around, Nick Lights still front, Steve.
Daryl Young on the outside. He's going to get him. Daryl Young with the win today for the Harpoon Design 250 at the last second. Steals the win away from Nick Lights. Coming out of turn 4, entering the tri-oval, Emery, just like we talked about a second ago. That was his only move he could make. And Daryl Young gets the win today at Talladega.
Fantastic finish for Daryl Young on the outside. Just gets by Nick Lights. What a run by him. Matthew Fleming is in 3rd. Matt Smith's in 4th. Frankie Barrosa's in 5th. That's your top 5. What a finish to a wild, wild day here at Talladega on Halloween. Man, oh man.
I'll tell you what, Halloween paint scheme, Harpoon Design on Talladega, man, you can't get any better. Just a Cinderella story here for Daryl Young. Great to see. He was super confident. I'll tell you what, I can't wait for this interview. I'm sure he's gonna say something he shouldn't. But I'll tell you what, great finish for him, Daryl Young. Awesome job here. We'll watch back that final lap real quick again, just to show you what happened. But man, Daryl Young finishing 1st. Nick Lights in P2. Matthew Fleming just couldn't get the run like he wanted to get. But awesome job. Matt Smith 4th place. Frankie Barroso 5th. Mealy, Smirker, Kaufman, Lanfear, and Larson will round out your top 10. But Daryl Young right now in that Harpoon Design machine, gonna burn these things down.
How fitting is it to have that 18 Harpoon Design car, that Halloween scheme, get a finish here. He's in victory lane in that orange and black Dead Goose car. Love to see it, man.
Looking good. That car's gonna go right to the museum, I'm sure, in the Harpoon Design headquarters. I don't know. Looking good right now, as always. We'll come right back, folks. We'll break down that finish, and then we'll talk to our sponsors and our podium. We'll come right back. All right, folks, we are back for the Harpoon Design 250. We're going to break down real quick before we talk to our podium finishers just how this worked out. This is the final white flag right here. Daryl Young will ride on board from the chopper view. Emery, help me break this down. But man, Daryl Young, you can see Matthew Fleming down low in that 3rd spot, trying to hold back, practicing that run. He knew he had to make it late in that 4th turn.
I just think Matt Fleming just kind of waited too long, didn't get the run and where he wanted to be late in this here. I think he was trying to follow the 18 up top, but just kind of ran out of fuel there. Just didn't get the car going. Man, oh man. Daryl Young on the outside gets past Nick Lights for the win. Unbelievable job for him. He was super patient, Steve.
Yeah, I mean, he timed it perfectly. There's no other way to say it. Absolute, just perfect job by Daryl Young. We said it earlier, watch out for him. He knows how to get it done here. Him and Roger Pierce, they do these races all the time, either in hosteds or money races or whatnot. He is just ultra confident in this, and Daryl Young is your winner today. Awesome job. 5 playoff points go to him to get to the end here. So let's bring in, we'll bring him in first, actually. I know he's really pumped up. So let's bring him in first and talk to our winner, Daryl Young.
We bring in Daryl here real quick, Steve. 18 should be showing up here shortly. We do have Daryl in here now. Daryl, you got a copy. It's me and Steve in the booth, man. You got a win here at Talladega. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling great, man. Feeling really, really good. I struggled early. I got caught up in something. I actually had a meatball flag. So I spent the entire rest of stage 1 and the entire stage 2 getting that fixed. Finally got the car fixed, and yeah, it was great. Ran up front with Fun Dogs. That was a lot of fun. I told Spotter and myself that as soon as they pit, I'm going to pit with them. I don't want to be a sitting duck. And we all pit together. We got out together, and I just kept pushing. I kept looking at the times on that second pack, and we were pulling away, and we were good. And then I knew when to try to make that move right there in the trial bowl, and it worked. I got into Nick a little bit, but it was a lot of fun. Worked out.
Yeah, all clean race in there at the end. You timed it perfect to get past Nick Lights for the win. Good job. Congratulations, Steve. What do you got for Daryl?
I mean, again, just impressive run. We're watching it live right now. Just the move that you're making on the outside of Nick Lights. You just timed it perfect. We mentioned it before. You know how to get it done here at these kind of tracks, man. What's it mean to you to get this win? Obviously at Talladega, you're already locked into the playoffs, but right now this win has got to feel good, man.
It does feel good. It was definitely a track that's been circled all season long. It feels great, and the nice thing about being locked in the playoffs before this race is I knew I could be aggressive. I knew I could make moves, and worst case scenario, I get wrecked and I'm out, and I still make playoffs. So it was kind of nice going to this race knowing that I'm locked in, and it was a lot of fun.
Awesome job, man. Hey, give us your shout outs, any friends, family, sponsors. Let me have it.
Yeah. Happy Halloween to everybody. Shout out to Harpoon Design for the paint. The paint was amazing tonight. Shout out to also all the other Halloween paints tonight. They look great. My teammate Roger, unfortunately, he got caught up in an incident in that last run there. But we worked well when we could together, and unfortunately, he got caught up in something. Was able to have a good finish. Unfortunately, went quite a few laps down, had a lot of damage. Shout out to Vector as well in the chat with us. What's up, Vector? And everybody watching. Appreciate it. Happy Halloween.
All right, that is your winner, Daryl Young, and the 18. That Harpoon design car comes out here and gets a win over Nick Lights. Put on a show. Fantastic job for him. We're going to bring in, do you want to bring in Nick Lights, your second place, P2?
Yes, sir.
Steve, or you want to bring, all right, let's bring in Nick Lights subbing today. Nick, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you guys.
Man, oh man, what a wild race at Talladega. What a crazy finish. It was just you three drivers up there. You were trying to battle off Matt Fleming and Daryl Young, and Daryl just got around at the end there. Man, what were your thoughts on this race today?
Yeah, no, he timed it perfect there. Good on him for that. It was I tried to push him up a little bit into the wall at the end, but he did what he needed to do, and he got the win. He I know Alpha 4, he just gave me a good shove, and that broke him away from the 88, and I wasn't able to back it up enough to where if he were to look high, the 88 could get to my bumper and push me. But no, he did what he needed to do and took home the win. So congrats to him and all of the Flim Dog guys for our strong finish tonight as well.
Absolutely. You almost came back in here and stole a win as a sub, but hey, congratulations on the P2. You still got to be happy with that. Steve, you got anything for Nick before he gets out of here?
No, man, just impressive run again. P2. Emmerich said it, you can't be disappointed in the harpoondesign.com machine. But yeah, man, thank your sponsors if you have any, and yeah, just great job again today, man.
Yeah, no, Harpoon Designs for the paints, Wheels America, Murphy Mechanical, MB Roofing, and Flim Dogs Auto Repair for all they done. It was a fun race. I know it might have not been for the fans there that riding around coming to the finish, but he put on a show there at the end for everybody. So happy for that.
That is Nick Lights subbing today, getting a P2. Congratulations, and we will see you next week. All right, we are going to bring in our P3 finisher. That's Matthew Fleming. Matthew Fleming in the 88. Hey, you got a copy, Matt?
Yeah, I got you.
Matt, you were right there in the mix trying to get past Daryl Young and Nick Lights. Just couldn't do it at the very end. What were your thoughts there it seemed like there was just a ton of space and just didn't have what it took to get past these guys. But
yeah, I mean, we were bundled up going into 3 and 4. But I still had it pedal to the floor, and apparently the 18 just snuggled right up with the 12 there. And it didn't matter how much gas I gave it, they pulled away, and it was just too far to be able to hook up with Nick, unfortunately. But shout out to the 18. You know, we drafted really well there for our 3-car tandem. So, yeah. Unfortunately, we didn't get a flagship win, but you know, 2 and 3, yeah, helps with my playoff run. So, you know, I'll happily come in 3rd.
yeah, you got to be happy with the P3. It was fun to watch you guys. I know the race at the end was a little wild for Super Speedway with only having you 3 up there on the lead lap and no one really around you. But man, oh man, did everything you could to try to make it work, and it was fun watching. Steve, you got anything for Matt Fleming before we get him out of here?
Yeah, I'm just curious, I guess, like Matt, about the mentality, right? I mean, you expect a Talladega race to be 2 and 3 wide the entire race, or you know, things like that, right? Like we saw stage 1 and stage 2, but when it comes down to it, right there, last, I don't know, 20, 25, 30 laps, you were basically, you know, just 3 cars. You know, like how do you kind of think about that? You know, as far as, you know, just drivability, and you know, at that point, are you hoping for a caution? Did you want it to, you know, to stay that way? What were you thinking?
Yeah, at first we didn't, you know, I think it was like a 3-second lead or whatever. You know, we didn't really know what to think too much. We just tried to keep really tight. And then once it started getting, you know, 5, 6, 7 seconds, then it's more of, you know, let's not get a caution. Because at least we got a top 3, as long as, you know, we don't really mess up and wreck each other. It was very uneventful. It's almost like you lost a draft and you're like last.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just kind of, yeah, okay. The left turn, there's no pressure. I mean, you got some of the lap down cars that kind of made it a little interesting, I suppose. But yeah, it was definitely not the typical Dega finish, that's for sure.
Well, you finished P3. You got to be happy again. That is Matthew Fleming, our driver, P3 finisher. Congratulations, and we'll see you next week.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I want to shout out to Flagship Motorsports, Flem Dogs Auto Repair, Wheels America, MB Roofing, and then Murphy's Mechanical, and of course Harpoon Design. You know, it's 3 of his paints, 1, 2, 3. So that's pretty awesome for him. Shout out to you guys up there in broadcast. It'll be a good one to go back and watch again. Shout out to Steve running this league. Definitely been one good year. So yeah, shout out to the family. Let me do this, and happy Halloween to everybody that's watching.
Absolutely. That is Matt Fleming in the 88. Stand up driver Steve. Man, oh man, what a race at Talladega. Crazy on Halloween. I blame you for this, Steve, but it was, regardless of everything that happened today, it was a lot of fun in the booth watching these drivers do what they do.
Yes, sir. It always is. I mean, it's just, we expected some chaos and we got it, right? And Talladega, regular season finale, a lot of drivers snuck their way in. We'll do the math in just a little bit and kind of figure out who our top 12 are. Obviously, Darrell Young with the win already was in with his points. So a lot of fun today. But yeah, sometimes this happens. I mean, single file Talladega racing, it's kind of interesting. I feel like, you know, it's probably better than, you know, the big one happening, right? And then everyone's out of it. You know, you get 15 cars out of the race, you know, not having any chance. But at least with this, we had everybody still in the race and still having a shot, you know, for a win or a good finish if a yellow came out. So I guess that's the good news. You know, maybe not as many tantrums or people who are upset, right, at other people. So I guess that's a good thing. Overall, these things can happen. It's racing can be it can be interesting for sure. But Emery, next week we are taking just a little break, having the All-Star race at Chicagoland Speedway. Going to be a lot of fun right there. We'll get some more information out to that shortly. So watch our socials, ASRA iRacing on Twitter, or I think it's called X at this point. So whichever one it is. But yeah, go and check us out there. And I'll tell you what, after that, a break week, and then our playoffs begin. A 5-race playoff to decide our champion, man. But Emery, good run today. Happy Halloween to everybody out in the chat. Appreciate all of you for subscribing. We just hit 400 subs, so love to see that. But Emery, what do you got for me, man? Wrap this thing up.
I just want to say thanks to everybody being involved, everybody watching Race Day Live. Appreciate you being here, tuning in every Tuesday. Halloween at Talladega was a lot of fun. Big shout out to Admin Box, Units Moving, Portable Storage, Battle Beaver, Harpoon Design, Sim Motion, and everyone else associated with this league. Obviously, man, what a great night. We are going to be going to All-Star Weekend next week. That'll be a good, fantastic break for everybody. I know the drivers are looking forward to that. Hey, big shout out to Daryl Young getting that win. Nick Lights, Matthew Fleming, your top 3. We want to thank you, and we will see you next week. Good night.